Welcome, everyone, to episode 5 of High Scores and High Spots, your home for all things video games and professional wrestling. I am Ryan, and with me is the current reigning predictions champion. As you can see, it is no more in my house. He is my older brother, Nathan.
I'm glad you're counting these episodes because I'm not.
We've got a fun episode for you all. We are going to be talking the Nintendo Direct, which was way better than we thought it was going to be. We're also going to be doing a very fun history of gaming. We talk about a game some of you may not have heard of, but a very interesting game and a very interesting backstory. Also going to be doing some wrestling talk as we talk Raw and NXT, doing the results there and talking a little bit of news on that. So let's jump on into this video game, Nathan. Let's pick up the sticks and let's smash some buttons as we talk some video games. And let's start with that Nintendo Direct Mini. We weren't really sure if you listened to the Monday or the Tuesday show. We weren't really sure what we're going to see on this, and we didn't have high hopes. But some cool stuff was announced and some stuff that I'm actually kind of looking forward to. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we started off with something we've seen a crap ton of, and that's Monster Hunter Rise expansion Sunbreak. I mean, there ain't nothing else that they can show us of this that we haven't already seen. And I'm looking forward to it. I might play it for a little bit. I mean, not gonna lie, I haven't played a whole lot of Monster Hunter Rise. I started it way back when it first came out. I got excited for it. I played it for a little while. But yeah, I might check out the expansion just to see what it's all about.
Yeah. That was the first thing shown. It was I mean, like you said, this is coming out June 30th, so it'll be out today as you listen to this. So cool. The next thing show was how do you say this? Nier. Yeah, Nier
Replicant.
Autumn, the End of Yorha edition.
Yeah.
Finally making its way to Switch.
It's Atomica.
Yeah. It is the cult game action RPG. Yeah.
The first one came out on the 360.
Damn.
One of the few RPGs on the 360.
So it is finally making its return or its debut on the Switch, but no real date was announced. But it will be here. Or is it already out? Is this one of those games?
It may have been a stealth drop. I don't think so though. All I know is, this is going to be a trend. This is going to be a trend with these Nintendo Directs, is especially the third-party ones. You're going to see games coming to the Switch that have been out for a very long time.
It will be out on October 6th is when it will come out on the Switch. So we got a little bit before that actually comes out. Then we had Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. A puzzle game that this looked weird. This was different.
Looked very hard.
Yeah. It's made by the same people that made Sayonara Wild Hearts, which was a music game. This will be out sometime in 2023. No actual release date given. But this looks hard, and it was very, very different than stuff I've seen before. But it looked good. I mean, it may not be my type of game, but it looked fun. It might be something worth checking out.
Right.
Super Bomberman R2. So this is the first Bomberman that's going to be out on the Switch. It's also going to be out on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox One. It'll be on the Switch sometime in 2023. So it's a brand new Super Bomberman game, which we haven't had in a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see a new Bomberman. I've never really been a Bomberman fan. I've never really played Bomberman, so it's not something that I'm too familiar with.
It's only fun if you have a lot of friends.
Yeah. It's a running maze type of game. So
it's a puzzle, kind of a puzzle game. It's a party game.
Yeah. So, but it'll be coming out to all consoles. It'll be out in 2023 at some point. So,
Yeah,
Again,
nobody expected this one. This is a big franchise that we did not see this game coming. That was kind of weird that nobody predicted that or nobody had reported on it.
Yeah, and it's not just for Switch too. That's why it's weird that this was not announced. Like no one heard of this before because it's coming to every console. So it's weird that this wasn't like leaked or like there was something about it. It's just randomly out of nowhere on the Nintendo Direct. It's like, here you go. This game people may have wanted for a long time is coming. So
yeah, low key Bomberman. I feel really stupid saying low key, by the way, because I'm an old man. But Bomberman has been going on since the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't get a lot of recognition, but damn, that franchise is strong.
Yeah, it's been out. It first made its appearance in 1993. So, yeah, it's been it was a launch title, Super Bomberman R. So this is a sequel to that. It was a launch title for the Switch in 2017. So it's been since 2017 since we've gotten the Super Bomberman game, and so this is the sequel to Super Bomberman R. So, yeah, again, a pretty big franchise that has a following that I'm surprised no one's ever heard of. They didn't know this was coming. Like,
yeah,
crazy. Speaking of another big franchise, we had the announcement of Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection.
This is a compilation of a bunch of Game Boy Advance games, Ryan. I know how much you love the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, I'm so familiar with that.
But this is a collection of Mega Man games. It's more of a strategy kind of games, not traditional Bomberman games or Mega Man games by any imagination.
Yeah, it's not the typical Mega Man. It's it's a different style. But hey, it's a big game. These collections are a new thing this year. As we've seen it with Sonic, with this Turtles game coming out, now Mega Man. The collection of old games is in this year. So everybody this year or next. So I guess everyone's gonna jump on the trend. I mean, that's the new thing. We're gonna make a collection of all of our games in one. So
right.
And then we had a weird game, which I did not expect either. Pac-Man World Repack. It's a 3D platforming Pac-Man game. His wife and kids get captured by the ghosts, and he has to rescue them. This looked different. Looked pretty fun though.
It was out. Yeah, this was a GameCube game. They made more than one of them, I believe. Pac-Man World games, and this was out of nowhere, like a GameCube game getting remastered. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. So it'll be out August 26th. I'm not sure if it's going to be a Switch exclusive, or if it's going to be out for all consoles, but it is going to be out August 26th. So yeah, again, a big franchise.
I would think this would probably be on most consoles.
I would assume this is probably going to be everything. But again, another big franchise getting remade or a new game, and that was the theme for this. For a lot of this Nintendo Direct was, hey, these old franchises that we haven't talked about in a while are all getting either remade or new games or collections or something. Yes, it will be out on everything, by the way. So,
all right,
we had Blank, a puzzle game.
I believe it's called Blanc.
Oh, Blanc. This was
kind of like Blanca White.
Yes, yeah, okay, that makes sense because it's black and white. This was a puzzle game, 3D, weird. It's got a story, but it's also got co-op.
Yeah, it reminded me kind of It Takes Two. Not really It Takes Two. It kind of reminded me more of the game where you play as a string guys made out of string.
Oh, what was the name of that game? I know exactly what you're talking about. What was it called? Unravel.
Unravel, yes. It kind of reminded me of that kind of style of game.
It did look like that, yeah.
Interesting. Artsy
You
fartsy.
play as like a deer. I think it's a deer. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it looked like it's a deer and a fox. Which why are they getting along? I don't know.
But yeah, it's a black and white world, kind of gray, not bonk, monochrome-ish kind of game. It's just basically you have to walk around and solve puzzles, and so I mean, it looks interesting. It does look like it looks maybe pretty fun, but yeah, it'll be out February of 2023. So, speaking of another big franchise, again, this was a big franchise. Return to Monkey Island. Monkey Island was a pretty big hit back in the day, that a lot of people loved. And we have got Return to Monkey Island, which was unexpected, honestly. I don't think a lot of people thought we were going to see a new Monkey Island game. But it is coming out sometime later this year. It was first announced back in April, but we actually got a look at it. Not much of a look, but we did get a look at it. So we'll see how it looks. Again, Monkey Island was not a series that I had played a whole lot of. I've heard a lot about it. But
so point and click adventure, right?
I think so. Yeah, it was one of those, like, it was a PC game, wasn't it? It was not a lot of movement. It was more of it's an adventure game. It was more point and click, and it was best known for on the computer. It was out on other systems, but it was more for computer. So be interesting to see how they take it in a new direction here and with this next gen technology. Again, a franchise we didn't expect to see on this. So again, there's a lot of big stuff on this Nintendo Direct that, quite frankly, I was not expecting to see.
Yeah.
Speaking of another big thing, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. So a sequel to the Mario and Rabbids game from, what was about the launch, right?
Yeah, this came out 2017. Yeah, this was a launch title, or in the launch year.
Yeah. So again, we've got another game that we didn't expect to see. It looked.
This one was expected, Ron. This one's been announced for a long time.
Well, I mean, we got to look at it. It's out October something. Sometime in October.
Yeah, so that's your October game. So now the only month available that we don't know is August, for at least one game per month from Nintendo, which it could be, like we said, Advanced Wars could come out then. Just maybe they won't even make a big hoopla about it because of and then it'll come out, and there you go. Ryan, so the Sparks of Hope also got a big event the next day, which is today when we're recording this, where they showed off more of the game, and there was a lot to do in this game. I think this game's going to be a lot longer than the first game, and it's going to be a lot more in depth. It might not be as easy to pick up and play as the first one, honestly.
Yeah, it's turn-based. I
think this one's going to have a learning curve. I think you're going to have to learn a lot of shit before you can play this one.
Yeah. The first one was kind of easy I mean, it gets hard. The first game did. Bowser is shown at the end, so I guess Bowser's going to be on the team this time. Each character has their own unique abilities. It's turn-based, so if you're into that kind of game, this might be pretty fun. I did play the first one, and I actually did enjoy the first one, so I might pick this up too, because it's a different kind of game to play. I don't play a lot of turn-based game, but it's Mario and Rabbids, so it's not like too serious, and it's fun, and so it might be worth picking up.
Yeah. Did you beat that game?
I did not yet. I'll have to pick it back up and try to beat it, because I got stuck and I did not beat it yet. So,
all right.
All right. The next game we're announced was Little Noah, Scion of Paradise. Another fantasy RPG game. So, and it's apparently available now. So there you go. They created, or the developers described it as a casual game. So I guess it's a game you can kind of just pick up and I don't think they expect you to put too much time into it, I guess. But it's a fantasy RPG, so if you're into that kind of style, and it's like a little bit of a side scrolling too. It's got some elements to it, honestly. It looks pretty fun. The art style looks it looks beautiful. So Railgrade was announced. It's about trains.
This was probably the one game that a lot of people were like, yeah, ain't for me.
Yeah, it's about building your own train empire. This one was probably the miss of the whole thing here. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people were like itching for a train game.
Yeah.
RPG time, The Legend of Right. Another RPG game. But it hand-drawn. You play as a hand-drawn character, so it's got a different art style. And you use your writing utensils to help solve puzzles. So it's got a different look and a different take on the RPG element. The game will be available August 18th. So if you're an RPG fan, you've got plenty of RPGs coming out.
Yeah, you could tell that this direct was more on the Japanese fan side than the United States fan side.
Yes. Then we had another look at Sonic Frontiers.
So this look was a lot better.
Yes.
Than any other look we've got, which it's like Sega, you had your own Sonic events, your own Sega events.
Hey.
And you couldn't show off your and you couldn't show off your game better than what Nintendo did. Like what a weird time we're living in where Nintendo does a better job showing off a Sega game than Sega.
Enemies are confirmed, so we can confirm now that there are enemies in this game. For a while there, we weren't sure. But it was a way better look than we've gotten at anything in this game before. So still, it's up in the air of what
it was. Still choppy from what they shown. A lot of pop in and stuff. So we'll see how it is when it comes out. They say it's coming out this year, but man, from these trailers, from these trailers, it looks.
Yeah, it's still up in the air about whether or not this game's going to be good, and whether or not they're going to be able to do it the way they want to do it. It's another open world game. In the last Sonic, Sonic's, we've talked about, people talked about, Sonic being open world. I just don't know. We'll see if it works. Again, they said available this holiday, so which would be October through December.
All right.
So a couple months here. I'm sure we'll see more in the coming months. But this was a way better look than we've gotten. So it's like you said, it's amazing that Nintendo got a better look at this than Sega did. When Sega had their own Sonic fucking thing, and they should have showed it there. But Disney Dreamlight Valley. This was just a Disney game.
This is
looks like a Disney version of The Sims, is what I think it is.
Or Animal Crossing or something like that.
It's like you just hang out with Disney characters.
Yeah.
I might pick this up for my kid. It's like, but yeah, it's like you're like a sim and you just walk around helping out Disney characters. So that's the game. I don't know how much of us you build houses and you plant stuff, and yeah, it's Sims Stardew Valley in the Disney World. You've got characters from Little Mermaid, Lion King, Moana, Mickey Mouse, Wally's there, Frozen. So I don't know. It'll be September 6th. We'll be going into early access on September 6th. So Live Alive.
It's Live Alive, actually, is what the guy said.
Live Alive. This was a 16-bit Super Famicom RPG, and it'll be making its first Western release on July 22nd.
Yeah, this game looks interesting, Ryan. There's a level that you're gonna like. It is an RPG game, but one of the 6 levels is you play as a luchador.
Wow, awesome.
So I think you should play this game, Ryan.
I might check it out. You could actually start playing the first 3 chapters now. Which is like a little stealth drop there. You can play the first 2 chapters, and then the full game will be released July 22nd. So a little bit about a month away, and this game will be released. I will probably pick this up. I don't play many RPGs, so why not try one that's never been seen in the Western world before?
Well, not only that, Ryan, but it's like you go through 6 time periods and then they all intertwine at the end, like they all come together.
We saw the first look at this like last year or a couple months ago, one of their directs.
Yeah.
But we finally got a better look at it and finally got a release date. So yeah, it's a time traveling RPG, which is crazy. And it came out on the Super Famicom, which is insane. Like that they were able to pull this off back then.
The Japanese, man, I tell you what, the games that they had were way better than the games that we had.
Yeah. Doraemon, Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom.
What a name.
Apparently this is a big anime. So this is kind of like a farming simulation game.
All
Apparently Doraemon is a big anime, so I'm not up to date on my anime. But this is apparently a spin-off of an anime. But it'll be coming sometime this year. Then we had another look at Minecraft Legends, the story-driven Minecraft game. It's coming to Switch, and it'll be sometime next year. We saw this during E3 or during Summer Games Fest, so it's kind of the same thing we saw before. So
yeah, I feel like Minecraft is gonna. I mean, kudos to them, I guess, for being able to do this, but they're basically just taking the Minecraft name and just doing different kind of games.
Yeah, I mean, they did dungeons with it, and now they're doing this.
Yeah, this is basically like an RPG also.
Yeah.
So they did a dungeon crawler. Now they're doing an RPG. Now all we need is a looter shooter, and there we go.
Every type of game, yeah. Dragon Quest Treasures, a spinoff of the Dragon Quest series. It's coming to Switch on December 9th.
Yeah, not into this.
Yeah.
It's something, but it's not. I'd rather have a Dragon Quest 12, please.
Portal Companion Collection. So Portal 1 and 2 will be brought together in this port of the game.
Did you ever play Portal?
I did play a little bit of it. I don't remember when, but I did play it. I never got really too into Portal. But
did it hurt your brain?
Yes. So Portal and Portal 2, though, they'll be coming to Switch. So again, the port of a game that came out on the Xbox 360.
Hell no, this was Xbox original.
Was this the original Xbox when Portal was on?
Yes.
Portal 2 was Xbox 360.
Yeah.
The original Portal, yeah. So this is a game from 2007. So getting the
that might be number. Yeah, I guess that would be the first one.
It was
yeah. The first one came out before then. Like it was like 2003.
No, it's saying that it released on October 10th, 2007.
Well, that's not right.
With the 360 and the PlayStation 3.
Well, that's a load of shit. I know it was on the original. I'll figure it out. I swear it was. Go ahead. Keep going.
But yeah, so that's, again, we're getting these old ports to the Switch. But hey, if you're a big Portal fan and you want to play it on the go, you can both play it on the Switch.
Yeah.
Harvestella. Another farming simulation game. What were the chances we had 2 farming simulation games on the same Nintendo Direct?
Yeah, that tells you third party companies are all thinking alike here for the Switch.
This will be out on November 4th. Again, not really a game I'm going to be too super into. The Persona 5 Royal, another remaster of this game, will be out on October 21st.
This had a lot of people excited. Here's my thoughts on this. Because it also 3 and 4 are coming also.
Yeah, at some point.
And they've never been on Nintendo consoles. This is a big Sega property. But these are mostly synonymous with PlayStation. And they're coming to Xbox also, but they're gonna be on Game Pass, so you can play them for free. So this coming to the Switch. So here's how I see it, Ryan. People are like, oh, I can't believe it's. I feel like the people that have wanted to play these games have already been playing these games.
Yeah, they're available elsewhere. So
if you're a big Persona fan, I don't think you're really excited because you probably already played them. So I don't really understand why everybody's all hyped up about this. But
yeah, But yeah, so that was the end of it. And then update Portal is available today. The Portal Companion Collection. It is available now. So if you're wanting to play it, it's on the Switch store right now.
I got it on the 360. I think it's also on Game Pass, ain't it?
Portal is, as I said, like these games, and the same with Persona, Portal, all of these games that are coming to Switch that are really older. I mean, they're available elsewhere. So if you really want to play it, unless the only console you have is Switch, but if you have other consoles, there's not really a need to get it on the Switch because unless you just want to play it on the go. The only reason would be if you want to play it when you're on vacation or whatever.
Yeah, and like I said, the only one that people probably could be excited for is the Persona 4, because that one was only on the PlayStation Vita, which not a lot of people bought.
Yeah.
So that one was hard to get your hands on and play. But now, so that one I could see, but
But this was a way better Nintendo Direct than we were anticipating. A lot of cool stuff was shown. A lot of stuff no one was expecting was shown. So, hey, man, I'm highly happy with this Nintendo Direct. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect going into it, but
highly happy.
I didn't know where I was going. I don't know what I was. I lost what I was gonna say. So then
I think that's how we're gonna rate stuff on this podcast. The very best is highly happy.
Highly happy is as high as it goes.
All right, let's move on here, Ryan. Let's see. We got any other video game news besides that?
Not really. Nothing too big. Nothing that really is like, huge news. That's about, there isn't a whole lot going on here in the world of video games other than Nintendo Direct. So,
the PlayStation, the PlayStation State of Play that people are expecting will be coming is rumored to be centered around God of War. So we kind of expected that because that's the only game they have coming out, it seems like. So, so that'll be something. I'd kind of like to see new games, but whatever. I guess we'll get a better look at what that's going to be. I feel like it's just going to look like the last God of War, but it's whatever.
I do want to talk a little bit about W2K22 as the new DLC dropped. The Clowning Around pack, as they call it. You know what? You get the weirdest group of people in this DLC. But I'm going to say right now, Doink the Clown is the funnest character I've ever seen in a wrestling video game. There are some cool stuff you can do with him that is like exclusive to him. And the attention to detail for Doink the Clown is, there must be like someone who works for 2K is like a super big Doink the Clown fan. So in this game, if you don't know, there's a like a payback, which is like their special abilities technically. And it's you can have someone like come help you in the match. Doink the Clowns is another Doink the Clown will come out. It's the only time in this game where you have two of the same character in the ring, unless you have like two different characters. He will come out with a fake arm, like he did at like WrestleMania 9, and he'll come out with a fake arm and then hit the person with it. That is the coolest thing, dude.
Yeah, when you have something like that, and the people are going to go to that much detail on that, you think that they would do that with the whole game. Yeah. And when they do something like that, it's cool and I like it, but it also just makes me a little bit angry that it's like, okay, I can see you're putting this much love into this.
Yeah.
Now, where is it for the rest of the game?
Speaking of angry, that's a good segue, Nathan. I didn't mean to, but it was a good segue. People are a little bit angry with this drop as Ronda Rousey is involved in this DLC. People are a little upset because, as we all know, if you're a wrestling fan, Ronda Rousey's theme music is Bad Reputation by Joan Jett. So little bit there. The song is in this game. That's not what this is about. But this song is not playable through like the jukebox, which is what plays. You cannot assign it to anybody else. It is, and if you change Ronda Rousey's like entrance, it'll like delete. It's only available for Ronda Rousey for Ronda Rousey's default entrance. Is the only way that song is available in this game.
That's very weird.
That's got people upset. It's not really 2K's fault. I think that it was a licensing issue. I know it was in the last 2 games, or the last game at least. I think what happened was Ronda Rousey left and 2K wasn't sure if she was going to come back. And so they like let the license go. And then from all reports is that WWE was very adamant about Ronda Rousey being added to this game. So she was added in very late in production. And I think they didn't really have time to get like a full licensing agreement for the song. So they probably like just a partial, or that was the terms for the game, is that it's only available for Ronda Rousey's entrance. Which is fine. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, for a lot of people are making a big deal about it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's just one song. I mean, I get it, but if you want someone else to have it, it kind of sucks. But I mean, I don't see it as that big of a deal, but the internet is exploding with it. Blaming 2K. And I don't really blame 2K for it. It's like I said, WWE really wanted her in this game and she didn't come back till January. So like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's a cutoff. The game came out in like February, March. So yeah. That's a short cutoff. So they weren't sure, if she was going to be in it. So they weren't going to license that song, because the game, that's the thing with licensing. Games and TV are 2 different licenses. So WWE owns the license to use on TV, but 2K would have to also buy that license to use in the game. And they weren't going to spend money on a song that's probably not cheap. I'm going to say Joan Jett's probably not cheap with her license. So they weren't going to like spend the money on a song they weren't going to know what they were going to have in the game. So,
right.
I mean, I get it. Again, it's not a big deal to me. There's this weird glitch though with Ronda Rousey that I found, that like if you do her Piper's Pit, the referee will start counting like immediately, and then he gets stuck in the pin animation. I did a match with her, and he was stuck. He was just sitting there like wanting the pin, just on his hands and knees, just sitting there, and it was like for like a minute. So,
2K and their wrestling games.
Yeah, but that's my 2K22 update.
Let's go into some gaming history, Ryan.
So, guys, we're going to talk about a game that I am pretty sure most of you may not know, and it may be a game that you may want to pick up if you can find it. We are talking the SNES classic, Uniracers.
I don't know if I'd go as far to say it's classic.
And the reason
this game is more like a cult classic.
You may be wondering why we are talking about a game that most people never heard of, because there's an interesting backstory to this game.
Well, not only that, but it's also a game that we played a lot because our parents didn't know what video games were, so they got us just this random game.
So Uniracers, if you don't know what it is a unicycle racing game, as you play as unicycles around a 2D track. You perform stunts, you race. It was released on December 1994 for the SNES in North America, and then worldwide it released on April 27th, 1995, where it was called Unirally everywhere else. So the gameplay, you basically just race. There's different.
It's a side-scrolling race. Which is very unique.
Yeah.
It's more like Sonic. It plays more like Sonic the Hedgehog than it does a racing game.
Yes. There's 9 tours, 5 tracks each, which is 2 races, 2 circuits, and 1 stunt. 2 circuit is just like a point-to-point race. A race is laps, and then a stunt, you just do stunts for points, is the difference. So there's 45 total tracks in this game, which is crazy.
It is crazy. They all kind of look the same a little bit, but they're the backgrounds. There's not much to them, but you're going so fucking fast in this game.
Yeah.
That if you had backgrounds, you'd probably throw up. But this game is it's fun. It is hard.
Yeah.
You have to basically beat the game 3 times to beat it. And but yeah, this game has an interesting backstory to it, Ryan. As the character in this game, your little Uniracer, your little unicycle.
Unicycle, yep.
It is animated in a way that looks kind of like a cartoon character a little bit. The way it moves, and it has some little funny animations to it, and it kind of looks, it looks kind of 3D-ish. It's kind of this game, for being a game that was not a lot of people played.
Yeah,
it is one of the few games that's like Donkey Kong Country.
It looks fantastic.
Where it's like almost 3D-ish.
Yeah.
And it's a very clean game. It does not have any slowdown. It doesn't have any frame rate issues. Like it doesn't glitch out or nothing. Like it's a very smooth game for as fast as the gameplay is.
Yeah.
But with that animation, Ryan, comes a little problem.
Yep.
And that little problem is right around this time that this game was coming out, another company was coming out called Pixar.
Yeah.
You might know them from the Pixar movies, the Disney movies. And apparently they had a little short, Ryan, because they had those shorts that they had before movies.
So it was called Red's Dream. It came out in 1987. So this was like one of their first.
Oh, okay. So this. I don't even know if this was released then.
Yeah, this came out like 5 years before Uniracers came out, but it was really short. It was only a 4-minute thing, and it was one of their first like actual thing. So
way before any other movies.
Yeah. Yep.
And but yeah, so whenever they saw the Uniracers game, they thought, wait a minute, that looks way too much like our unicycle in our little short. And they sued them.
Yep.
Said they couldn't use that. So what happened was, Ryan, one of the other reasons why this game did not sell well, and also why a lot of people never picked it up, is as soon as that Pixar won this lawsuit.
Which is crazy to me, by the way, because they're not, one's a short film and one's a video game. Like,
yeah, you see a lot of other stuff that look very similar, and this never happened. So it's very bizarre. But they did win. So as soon as they won, all the copies of this game were pulled from stores. So this is one of the few games where we know exactly how many video games copies were made for this game.
There was only the initial launch. They sold, there were 300,000, and then that is it. So we know for a fact that there were only 300,000 Uniracers / Unirally games made in the world.
Yeah, and we got one.
Yeah, we do. I didn't realize this game when we had it as a kid. I didn't realize we were playing like a freaking really kind of rare game. This is the first time I think, and I didn't know the backstory of this, so we looked into it today. And the reason we're talking about this is you were playing it, and so we kind of started talking about it. But I never realized that this had this kind of backstory, and this has got to be one of the first, like one of the only cases where like a lawsuit like that was won, because they're
usually they just settle.
Yeah, they're similar, but it's a unicycle. They look a certain way. There's no other way to bring to life a unicycle without it looking the same.
It is a very, very weird case.
I don't know what kind of judge they had, but he apparently just
but yeah, overall though, very weird story, but a very unique game. It actually plays really good. So I would have everybody go out and try this game either on an emulator or something.
You should have this game. Also, one of the cool features is you can do a league mode, which is you can go up to 8 players to compete in one-on-one races. There are 16 different colored unicycles, and each one comes with, you can customize a name and its own unique save file. So like you can have 16 different names. We used to do that too. We name them all. And then you can do a league with up to 8 players, and you have one-on-one races. You race every single person, and then whoever wins the most wins. So you can have a lot of fun with this game. It's not just a one person game. You can do split screen 2-player mode. So again, it's a very underrated gym. Forgotten, honestly, probably just because of there was not that many. But if you have a chance, if you see this in a store or you have another way of playing it, I'm not gonna go it, however you want to play it. I would definitely check this game out. It is a very fun game that I feel like most people would have a blast playing. It's just no one's heard of it because of the lawsuit from Pixar, which is insanity that they actually won that lawsuit.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, you ready to switch over to the world of wrestling?
Yeah, let's ring that bell. Let's get in the ring and let's talk some wrestling. We're going to be talking Monday Night Raw and NXT today. Which is but also before we get into that, WWE has signed a brand new talent. A woman from the world of MMA. This was rumored for a while, but it was officially announced today. Bellator's Valerie Loretta has confirmed that she has signed a WWE contract. She's only 23 years old. And she said she's been at the Performance Center, and she said she's going to join WWE full time next month. So
all right.
I don't know much about this girl.
I don't either. She's not very well known.
She was.
I feel like
she was on the U.S. Olympic Taekwondo team.
Oh, okay.
And she's 4-1 in her Bellator career. So I mean that's not terrible, but I guess she decided that MMA was not for her, and she was going to join the wrestling world. So
interesting. Also in the world of news, I guess we should get some news stories out of the way. Sasha Banks, the latest on her is that
this is crazy. This story is
well, the latest on her is that technically she has been released. Is what people are saying, but WWE's keeping it hush hush because they're trying to smooth things over with her. I don't know if they're trying to talk her out of it and have her come back, or if they're just trying to smooth things over to where she doesn't mouth them after they let her go. I don't know what's going on, but apparently that's why we haven't heard much about it. Is WWE's keeping it on the down low for now. That's why they haven't released a statement.
Yeah, apparently they may be trying to bring her back. Again, this story goes back and forth every other day. So, but that's what I got out of it is they're trying to keep her at least on their good graces, on their good side, I guess, and potentially bring her back down the road. I really don't know if she's going to wrestle. I really think she might just try to go to do some movies and stuff.
Yeah. Potentially on the AEW side, Ryan, people being let go, people's contracts probably being run out is usually what happens on the AEW side. Is Alan Angels tweeted out looking to see what happens next, looking for the future. So
and he removed all AEW references from his social media, which I would assume that means he's one of the. There was a report by Sean Ross Sapp stating that they are quietly letting more people have been quietly let go, but we don't know the extent of who. But Alan Angels is apparently one of them. The Dark Order.
He was
5 people.
Yeah. Yeah, and also Chuck Taylor deleted a lot of his tweets.
Oh no! Oh, that sucks so bad.
Yeah, so it sounds like Chuck Taylor he also has not been seen on TV since March of this year. So he may also have been quietly let go.
Oh, that's a shame.
Let's get into Monday Night Raw here, Ryan.
Monday Night Raw. This was the return of John Cena. We kicked off the show with
for the love of God, this show had a segment where they showed John Cena shit, and I swear it was like 30 minutes long.
They started off with John Cena just walking around the arena, just talking to people. So
I was. There was way. I mean, I get he's been around for 20 years, but son of a bitch.
So we kicked off the show with a good old fashioned battle royal. Winner goes to the Money in the Bank. This was considered a second chance qualifier battle royal, even though most of these people never had a first chance qualifier. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Here's the deal. You have a chance to take Matt Riddle or Riddle.
Yeah, he's not Matt anymore.
And make him like he's got the potential to be one of the biggest stars of the company.
Yeah.
Because little kids like him.
Yep.
Teenagers like him. The hardcore wrestling world likes him because he wrestled for all these independent companies.
Yeah, he's got it all. He's like the best for everybody.
He's got it all. He can be funny. He can be serious.
Yeah.
He could fight Brock Lesnar in an MMA throwdown if they wanted to do that.
Yep.
Like he can do it. He is it.
And he's legitimate because he was an MMA fighter. So he's like,
yeah. And he's got legitimate. The RVD factor. He's got the RVD factor where not just because he smokes weed, but because he's got the RVD factor where the fans really are behind him. Like they are really behind him.
It's legitimate.
And just yeah. So I don't understand why you would have him lose to Omos, and then have him in this, and then have him win this battle. I just don't get it. I feel like I mean he might win this thing. Like as we found out in this battle royal, he does win this battle royal, right?
Yep.
He's him and the Miz are the last two, which oh boy, the Miz. They actually did pretty good, though. He made the Miz look pretty good here.
Yeah, so Miz, it was down to Miz and Riddle. Miz faked the knee injury. He was on the outside of the ring. It was down to Riddle. The final four was Riddle, AJ, Miz, and Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
AJ eliminated Ricochet. AJ goes on to the apron to go for the phenomenal forearm. Miz, out of nowhere, pulls him to the floor and eliminates AJ. And so now he is... He was faking it the whole time. Riddle hit the second rope DDT. Miz actually hit him with the skull crushing finale, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
But Riddle ends up hitting an RKO on the apron to eliminate Miz. So Riddle, like you said, is moving on to Money in the Bank, which means there is one spot left, right? Or all the spots been.
Yeah, there's one spot left. There's supposed to be Owens and Owens and Elias were supposed to have a match, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so there's a storyline reason apparently. It said it was a minor situation. So I think he just like he tweeted out that he didn't want to go to Texas. That's what it. So I don't know.
There was something going on.
Maybe he missed his flight or something. They said it's not an injury or anything. So anyway, so
maybe they'll have it on SmackDown because brands don't matter anymore.
So then we had Jey Uso versus Montez Ford. These teams will face off at Money in the Bank for the tag titles. But before that, we had the messages for Cena, and Daniel Bryan and Big Show were a part of these, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Barry was like, the news reports came out that Tony Khan okayed it. And I'm like, well, no shit. It's not like they just went on there on their own. Of course he had to okay it. It's not like Daniel Bryan and Big Show are just going to be like, we're going to do what we want. But that was cool to see, and everyone's just basically talking about how great Cena is.
It's freaking ridiculous.
This was a good match. Montez Ford ends up getting the win with the big frog splash, getting the momentum heading into Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
More John Cena stuff. Next week it'll be we had a backstage promo between Judgment Day and the Mysterios, basically kind of hinting that they maybe wanted Dominic to join the team. And basically called Ray a bad father, and they're gonna wrestle next week.
So you think he joins them or not? They have teased Ray and Dominic breaking up for like 2 years.
Yeah. Apparently Logan Paul is gonna come back. And we had Miz talking about that. So
that came out of nowhere. You know, he talked about how he was gonna come back and wrestle again. Logan Paul on talk shows and stuff, but they never mentioned him, and now all of a sudden I don't know where they're mentioning him again.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Logan Paul's like, oh, I guess I'll come back. So that's probably going to happen at Survivor Series. Then we had Miz and AJ wrestle. They, second time we've seen these guys. Miz just runs away. Another count out on Raw. AJ wins. They do this too many times for it to matter anymore.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair. We had another Cena thing. Jericho was on this one. So again, another AEW star. Carmella and Belair just go face to face as they get ready for their match.
Yeah, they really made Carmella look good here.
Yeah. She was talking about how she's like not respected, and then she, ran away. So yeah. Like, well, you're kind of proving why no one respects you.
Yeah.
Then we had Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss. Why? I don't know. They're both in the Money in the Bank thing, so I guess that's why. Yeah. These guys were teaming up 2 weeks ago, and now they're wrestling each other. Asuka was on commentary, and that was the funniest thing I've ever heard because she just kept repeating what people were asking her. It was great. Corey Graves was talking to her, and she just kept going, yeah. Liv Morgan ends up though with a roll up, of course, because it's Monday Night Raw. Liv Morgan wins, getting momentum heading into Money in the Bank. Then Vince came out. Vince talks about it's John Cena, and then he leaves.
Yeah. 2 weeks he's come out and talked about John Cena, and we already knew he was coming, so there's no reason for Vince to say stuff.
I thought they had a little thing between him and Austin Theory in the back before he came out. Mm-hmm. I thought for sure something was going to happen during this promo, but no, he just came out and talked and left. It was like he was retiring, really, but he wasn't.
Yeah, it was really weird.
He was talking like he was going to retire, but then he goes, "I'm not going to leave." Like he goes, "I'm not sure when you'll see me in the ring." He said, "I'm not saying he won't. He just doesn't know when it'll be." And then he just kept talking, and then he left. And I was like, "What was this?" I thought we were going to.
It was very weird.
I thought we were going to lead to something, but it was basically him just saying thank you to the fans for 20 years, essentially. So
this whole episode was stupid.
Yeah. Then we had a 2-on-1 handicap match. Lashley versus Alpha Academy. Lashley, way to put over a tag team. Lashley wins.
Yeah.
He did, though, do an electric chair to Otis, which was fucking crazy. That was nuts. Then he played Gable in the Hurt Lock. Theory then ran out because they are wrestling at Survivor Series, and then Lashley takes him out too. Then an interview with Cody. I haven't seen him in a little bit. Cody Rhodes just talks about how they told him he's going to be out 9 months, but he said he doesn't plan on being out that long. But he also said that he wants, he's not rooting for anybody, but if Rollins were to win, Rhodes said he would be the first one to congratulate him. So I don't know. It could be
interesting.
Yeah. Then we had Becky Lynch versus Doudrop versus Nikki ASH versus Xia Li versus Tamina Snuka versus Shayna Baszler in another second chance elimination qualifier match. That was a lot to say. But yeah, this was chaotic. And well, I mean, Becky wins. Yay.
The crowd was cheering her the whole time.
Yeah, Becky basically eliminated like everybody.
Yeah, I mean, how was that not a face match? Like, how was that not her being a face? Like, she dominated.
Yeah.
We also had Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss with a very awkward segment where Liv tried to they're supposed to be both faces, right?
I assume so.
But yeah, they're just being catty towards each other, and I was like, okay,
because
and it was
all
very
women
awkward.
hate each other.
Yeah, and it was very awkward, and it didn't work. And then the match didn't work that well either. We had a Monday Night Roll-Up.
Yeah, and
with Liv Morgan getting the win,
and that was Raw. That was pretty much Raw. They did not a lot on the show. Basically a lot of Cena that led to nothing. So
yeah, it was dumb.
What was the point? But to NXT, we are 1 week. Next week will be a very special episode. NXT will be the Great American Bash special. This week we had a lot of interesting matches and a lot of interesting stuff happened. Kicked it off with a number one contender for the women's tag team titles as Katana Chance and Kaden Carter took on Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. Chance and Carter really not really acting heels, but a lot more physical than they usually are.
Mm-hmm.
So they were basically the heels in this match. This was a very good match. Katana Chance, so athletic, it's crazy. She can do some shit that I've never seen before. She does like these flips and this stuff, and it just looks so like pretty. It's so smooth. But in the end, it was a roll up. It wasn't a roll up, it was her. Perez hit her pop rocks, but it was basically a counter. So Perez and Jade are the number one contenders, and they will get wrestled next week for the titles at Great American Bash. We then cut to the back where the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile are working out. Then Joe Gacy and the Dyad walk up to them. Gacy basically said that the Creeds don't appreciate. He said that Roderick Strong doesn't appreciate the Creeds, but he said he would welcome them into his family. Basically, the Creed brothers turn him down. Roderick Strong walks in, and it leads to that they're going to wrestle a 6-man tag tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Then your favorite wrestler, Giovanni Vinci, was in the ring as he takes on Ikemen Jiro.
Yeah.
Vinci's entrance is ridiculous.
It is so dumb.
Vinci did a springboard tornado DDT, which was insanity. It looked very awesome. This was basically a beatdown from the very beginning. Jiro got a couple moves in, but this was basically Vinci just destroying Jiro. He hit the big sit out power bomb, and he gets the win. And then after the match, he says, "It won't be Great American Bash cannot happen without him." And then he posed and smiled.
Mm-hmm.
So then Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes are being interviewed. Grayson Waller interrupts, and he has like a bunch of autographs for them to sign. And he signs everything and walks off. This will lead to something later. Josh Briggs and Jensen walk out. The brand new NXT UK Tag Team Champions, by the way. If you didn't watch that show, they did win the tag team titles. They're in the ring talking about, how they won the titles, and then a USA chant starts for no reason whatever. It's like, hey, we beat the UK. Because NXT fans are ridiculous.
Yeah.
But this leads to Pretty Deadly walking out. Pretty Deadly basically said they have besmirched the tag team titles that they raised and made prestigious. And they said they held those titles for 287 days, and they went them back to restore the prestige. And then they have a little beat down, and then Briggs and Jensen clear the ring. So I guess they're going to wrestle at some point. This is the first time, I think, since NXT's very few times that they've actually acknowledged NXT UK exists on this show. Especially they went to 2.0. Like, they very rarely acknowledge it, and now they got the tag team champions over here.
Yeah, they haven't said anything about any of the other people that have been on NXT UK.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because we've had a number of people that are on NXT 2.0 and NXT UK.
Legend, Von Wagner, Damon Prince or Damon, whatever his name is. He's on that show every week. Damon Kemp's on that show almost every week.
Yeah, so it's really weird that they brought the tag team titles with them and everything. I don't know. Maybe this is a part of Triple H. You know, he did have that thing where he said he said if he's back, maybe he's gonna try to make it all one thing again and make it feel more. Maybe he's gonna do his. Maybe we'll get more NXTs, Ryan. Maybe it'll happen.
Maybe Triple H is finally going to get his thing.
I doubt that.
NXT Japan. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so this is weird just to see them actually. And if that title match happens on NXT, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Because that'd be the first time I think that's happened. They've had like the UK title on NXT before, but the other titles never existed in this country. Like they just like so I don't know what's gonna happen here. I don't know. Again, this could be the end of NXT UK. You never know. The next matchup is Kiana James and Indy Hartwell. Yeah.
Hey, honestly, having Brooks and Jensen win the NXT tag team titles kind of is the end of NXT UK, in my opinion. Just saying.
They don't fit in over there, do they?
No.
What I thought was going to be an Indy Hartwell squash match ended up being Kiana James cheating to get the win.
Yeah.
So Kiana James put her feet on the ropes, gets the leverage, and beats Indy Hartwell, who I thought was going to challenge for the NXT top women's title, but apparently not. So I don't know where the shit goes now. Then we had Nathan. We called it. Or you called it. We cut to Tony D'Angelo and Stax. They're on a bridge. And he talks about how he gave somebody everything and he broke his heart and now he's sleeping with the fishes. So yes, Troy Two Dimes is dead.
Yeah.
And then he had a watch that he gave the Two Dimes and he threw it in there and he had the watch and he threw it into the river. So yeah,
I tell you what, let's just go ahead and hire us to write the show. That's what I say.
And then Santos Escobar calls him and he throws his phone in the river as well. So. Then we had the 6-man tag, the Diamond Mine versus Joe Gacy and the Dyad. I still have no idea how the Dyad even wrestle. I don't know how they see at all.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's working, but I assume it's I think it's Grizzly Young Veterans. They wrestle. I say wrestle. Basically, all they do is punch and kick because they can't do a fucking move at all because they can't see and they can't like move at all. So they don't do much in the ring. They don't wrestle like GYB, but they got the same kind of build. So I assume it's them.
Yeah.
But anyway, this match ends with the Dyad and Joe Gacy getting the win. They do a double team DDT. That's the only move they did this whole match. So Strong gets at the end of this match. Strong got into it with the Creed brothers. So leading to some dissension. Trick Williams and Carmella are leaving. McKenzie walks out and says, she asks Hayes about defending his NXT North American title against Grayson Waller next week. And Hayes is confused and says, why would I have the match? And she says, you both signed the contract, which means Grayson Waller tricked him into signing a contract. So they're going to wrestle next week for the title. Interesting. Songa and Zion Quinn. I snoozed during this one. Songa wins.
Yeah, that was a boring match.
We had a Wendy Chu promo.
God damn.
Yeah. It was announced that next week, it's going to be Damon Kemp and Roderick Strong versus the Creed brothers for the NXT Tag Team titles.
All right.
And your main event of the evening. The main match. We had a main match of the evening was Nikita Lyons versus Mandy Rose. Non-title match kind of came earlier when I didn't know it was leading to a match. Nikita Lyons said she was coming for the title, but I didn't think it was going to lead to a match tonight. Nikita Lyons kind of crazy. Nikita Lyons looks good for being back after her injury. She wasn't out very long.
No,
but she looked good. I missed her on my screen, so I was very happy to see these two wrestle each other. I was glued to the TV screen. Nikita Lyons wins by DQ after Dolan and Jane rush the ring. But then Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade make the save and they clear the ring. Yeah. So there you go. And then we had another Cruise promo where he was talking with Solo Sikoa. It's weird. I don't know where they're heading with this goddamn storyline. And then we had the main event was basically Cameron Grimes and Braun Breaker talking as they wrestle next week for the title.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Braun Breaker's just going to win this match, but
so what happened was they got into it. Grimes kind of Braun kind of makes fun of his dad. He said that his dad didn't have heart, which is why he was never a world champion, which pissed Braun off. He decks him, threw him a bit high in the air. Grimes is in the corner and Braun runs into the corner. Grimes moves and he breaks the top turnbuckle. And then basically Grimes looks away. I think he may have turned heel here a little bit. But then he kind of basically tells the officials, hey, make sure he's okay for next week because I want him 100% when I beat him. So and that's how the show went off the air. So big show next week. At least 3 championship matches. The NXT women's and men's tag titles and the NXT title will be on the line. And the United States title or North American title. So 4 title matches next week.
Right.
So,
obviously they had Cameron Grimes. I tell you what, I hope Triple H can turn him back into what he was because I honestly don't know what he is anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's back to being a heel. This was kind of like a heel promo, but he still was like being a face. So I don't know.
But he's definitely not doing the shit he was doing.
Yeah, he's not the funny to the moon anymore.
No, like let's finish this off with a dynamite preview here, Ryan. I'll tell you right now. This is gonna sell you on the show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tell me, Nathan.
All right, Ryan. Are you ready for this? What we're gonna have on this show?
Yes, sell me.
Christian Cage promo.
Again. Woohoo! All right.
We got Jade Cargill beating some chick that I don't know who she is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We got I forgot what we got the blood and guts match, which is probably gonna take an hour.
Yeah. Woohoo!
And then we also have what was the other match? It was a banger. I gotta look it up real quick.
Oh, I see it.
Yes.
Cassidy versus Ethan Page.
Yes. That's a dynamite match.
Yes.
So that's
what's been announced. So I don't know what's going to happen. Man, other than the blood and guts, that sounds like and even blood and guts, I'm not really looking forward to because I don't like these big multi-man fights. So this is going to be an interesting show. Yeah, I can't wait. We'll definitely have thoughts about that coming up on Saturday.
Yeah.
But that's gonna wrap this up. This was Dynamite's gonna suck. We will catch you on Saturday morning, 6 a.m. for the next episode 6 of High Scores and High Spots. As always, you can follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at SabraiENT for all the latest. Email us at SabraiENT1 at gmail.com for all business inquiries or just to say hi. That's going to do it. Thank you for listening. As always, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share it with your friends. For Nathan, I am Ryan, reminding you to always hit your spots and set your scores.
Later.